little cuties, Bemi here, and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. Today, I am building this little tiny home that's like vaguely Scandinavian that was honestly inspired by the cutest little playhouse I've ever seen on Pinterest, and it was just like so cute. It was like a real home sort of design for kids, like for a playhouse. And I thought how cute it would be if I made it into a tiny home in The Sims 4. I tried to make it into a micro home, but I couldn't get the second floor in there and have it be a micro home, especially for two Sims. I imagined a couple lived here, so that just wasn't happening. Anyway, I tried to keep it roughly as similar as I can to the playhouse. I'll put up an image of the playhouse so you guys kind of know what I'm working with. And it's just like so cute. I imagine the people that live here really appreciate a very inviting, comfortable type home that is like has a good design, but also isn't a lot of upkeep. I imagine that they, instead of spending their money on this house and having a giant house where, I don't know, they have like a lot of stuff, that they're more into traveling, and that's where they like to put their time and energy and money instead of having a big giant house just full of stuff that they don't care about. So that was kind of the direction that I was going in. I wanted to also still, as I said, keep it very homey and inviting. There's not really like entertainment space anywhere because I didn't imagine, not that these people don't have friends necessarily, but they probably go out. And I don't know, I just felt like maybe they have a few close friends that come over, like, I don't know. Anyway, so I do have to say that after I recorded everything, had this up on the gallery, I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even play test this. So you'll see up here the bedroom space. That is not how it will be when you download it from the gallery if you so choose, because for some godforsaken reason, The Sims cannot route around the foot of the bed, and I could have sworn that they were able to, and they can't. So I had to like change it up and make the upper floor a little bit longer and kind of rearrange it a little bit. So it is a little bit different when you download it, but it's functional then. If you want two Sims, if you just want one Sim, then it doesn't really matter. But for some reason they can't route around the foot of the bed the way that I had it, which, like, I guess whatever, I don't know. Anyway, and the one thing that's kind of frustrating, I guess, about it is I don't know if it's a bug for everybody or if it's something they took out of the game, but Sims can no longer scoot across the bed if it's up against a wall. So if you want two Sims to sleep in a double bed, you have to have it away from the wall so they can get into bed. It used to be that you could have a Sim scoot over, like you could select the side of the bed closest to the wall and they would scoot over to sleep. I don't believe they could ever woohoo in the bed, but they could sleep together. And that's something that's like kind of frustrating for me, especially with tiny living, is that you pretty much have to have like a Murphy bed, because we don't have loft beds, we don't have bunk beds, we don't have anything like that. So, you know, like you have to have that designated space for a bed. I don't know. The whole thing is a little bit frustrating. But anyway, I decided to put this build in, I almost just said Willow Creek. It is not in Willow Creek. It is in Oasis Springs. And I figured this could go here well because the style of the build goes well with the style of the houses around it. I mean, well enough anyway. So I figured this would be a good spot for it. However, the way I landscape it, you'll see, is very not. I tried to landscape it with like, you know, cacti and things, but it just wasn't really vibing well. So we changed that. You'll see later. And it is a little bit cramped in this house, I will say. Everything is playable. Even though the bedroom is a little wonky and I had to change that guy up, everything else is functional, it's playable, and good to go. Like, I don't think I've really had too much problem with anything. The Sims can like walk around each other pretty well. No one's like getting stuck. So yeah, everything's like good to go. I really do wish though, this table that I choose, like this bar table, I wish there was as much as I do love the tall height, I think that's great and I love using it, but I do wish they gave us like a regular table height. Like, I don't know why we didn't get that. It just seems bizarre. But yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I do actually really love the Tiny Living pack. A lot of the stuff that we got with it is so good. Also, speaking of, I don't know, The Sims, we just got announced recently. As I'm recording this, I believe it was just today that the announcement dropped. But there is a new expansion pack coming out called Eco Living, and I am so excited for it. I know a lot of people are kind of upset about the whole eco living situation, but I'm excited for it. It's coming out June 5th, I believe, and I don't know, I'm just stoked. There's like this really grungy, like gross world that you have to like clean up. Well, you don't have to, I guess, is the cool thing. It seems as though you can leave the town like dirty and gross, and like, you know how much I love nasty, disgusting builds that are just like generally grody and filthy. So you know I can't wait. I'm very excited. It looks cool. There's like this really industrial vibe. They also, I mean, I'm sure you guys have probably already seen it by the time you're watching this, but I love the whole it's not a gardening pack, but it's so heavily gardening and like do it yourself and like be kind of self-sustaining. I can't wait. I can't wait to live in a gross world, and I can't wait to make it a clean world. And I'm really hoping, praying that if you have you'll have other worlds, obviously, but what I'm hoping is that the dirtiness can be turned off, so that that's not something that's just like your city is always getting dirty. But I kind of am hoping there's like an option to have it be applicable to all your worlds, so that like in a game save you could go to like Willow Creek and it's like nasty, or you could go to City Living and it's nasty. You know what I mean? Like, I'm really hoping it's not just for that singular world. And if it's not for the singular world, I kind of hope you can like turn it off and on so that you don't have to deal with it if you don't want to. I did like how Strangerville, you could live there and things are like low-key a little bit weird, but it's not so wild that, you know, like you have to like really deal with the game, or not the game, but the story. So I don't know. I have really high hopes. I really can't wait for it to come out. I'm so excited. It's like right up my alley. There's like fucking candle making. It's like gonna be wild and I'm excited. Anyway, back to this build. Surprisingly, like the small builds take me a lot longer than what I like anticipate initially. So this build, oh my god, I think took me almost like 3 hours, and it probably would have taken me a little less long. It wouldn't have taken me as long anyway if I weren't watching New Girl. I like restarted the series and kept getting distracted. But it's like a puzzle for the little builds like this with like an interesting layout, you know? And so you have to like figure out where everything goes and how it will go together and like make the most sense. So this took me a while, but I think it turned out really good and it's super cute. I kind of played in the house for a little bit and it's really fun. I go ahead later, you'll see in a little bit here, I'm do like a big kind of outdoor, it's not huge, but it's like a decently sized outdoor space where the Sims can like lounge and hang out. I don't feel like these Sims particularly, I don't know, these Sims don't seem like artsy fartsy to me in the way that they have like hobbies at home. Like I think their hobby like is traveling. So I think for them, like not having like an easel or a woodworking table or gardening or like whatever, like that kind of stuff, I feel like I usually put in here. I feel like their hobby is traveling. Like they're not spending a lot of time at home, and when they do, it's just like relaxing. You know what I mean? So the outdoor space is like literally just simple and chill, which I'm pretty excited about because it's a nice space. I actually like how the entirety of this turned out. Like it's pretty cozy and I'm pretty excited about it. But yeah, I don't know what these people even like do for a living, to be honest. I think the Sims that I stuck in here, one of them is like a businessman, and then I don't know what the other one is. I don't know what she does, but probably something that makes a decent amount of money so they can travel. Or they don't really make too much money, but all of their money that they save is like going to traveling. I really wish in other worlds we were able to rent houses and lots and stuff, that we had that option, you know? Because then I was just thinking like how cool it would be if we had like a Sim that's like renting, has roommates, doesn't really have a lot, and all of the money that they make goes to traveling instead of, and they maybe move around a lot. Like that would be so cool. But unfortunately, rental properties are only in destination worlds and in city living, which is so frustrating. And I don't know why they didn't make that like an option, you know what I mean? I don't know. I feel like I could go on for days. But anyway, we are here in the backyard and we are creating this space. There's no like lawn back here. It's all gonna be like concrete, like pavement kind of like in the back. I didn't want, I don't know, like I don't really understand a lawn per se, like if you don't have like kids or animals, you know what I mean? Like what am I gonna do like in a whole ass lawn? Also, these people, they don't seem like lawn people. They definitely seem like we're just gonna like chill out on our like cement slab back here and just sunbathe, you know what I mean? So I do add a little bit of greenery though, don't worry, there's like a little garden patch, if you will. And this little like piece over here by the house, I wanted to put fencing. I don't know, everything was just like looking too weird, and I tried to put a wall. I don't know, everything was just weird. I ended up just I tried to recreate the thing in the front. I don't know. It was a whole thing. It was very frustrating. So I ended up just doing that little divider there instead, so that it's still like open air and you could see through it and it like lets light in, but there is that sort of element of privacy there. And back here, I did want to kind of keep with the exterior color theme of this beautiful dark blue with the black and the white, just to keep it cohesive, if you will. And really just all of this is like, I imagine they probably make pretty good money because that's probably an expensive pool. Like, to be honest, that it has this like little waterfall element that I imagine is probably like a filtration system that's like filtering out the water, as well as being like a piece of like a water feature. That's the word we're looking for. Anyway, you'll see here I tried to do a deserty themed little garden back here, and boy, let me tell you, it just like wasn't like making, like something just didn't feel right. So I went for aspen trees, and I wanted to leave this in because like it was really cute. I did really like it. I think it turned out well like on its own, but I think with the build it just like didn't make sense and it just made me sad. But I didn't want it to all go for waste. Go to waste. What am I saying? I don't know. Anyway, I wanted to at least show you guys because I really did like it. It just wasn't vibing. I feel like maybe this would be better in wait, is it El Salvador? No, it's just Salvadorada. Right? Yeah, I don't know. This probably would make sense on a different lot, or B, in the jungle. But it's still pretty cool. And honestly, from this point on, it's just a lot of landscaping and kind of like zhooshing up the outside. And that's honestly like pretty much it. So I think I'm going to just leave this here. I really hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm trying to get better about posting builds. I have so many like in queue to be edited, so trying to keep up, okay? But anyways, you guys, thank you so much for hanging out. I super duper appreciate it. As always, I hope you enjoy the rest of the build and the little video tour at the end, and I'll see you little cuties in the next one. Bye.